real quick with you.
Yeah, I think Razor started in like 20 minutes, so and then
Yeah, he got enough.
your show start right after that, right?
9. Yeah, 9 o'clock. It'll be me, Fearless, maybe Black Man's Travel, the Andrew Show. At least 4 of us hosting and co-hosting, and then
Oh,
the panel will be lit. It's about why YouTubers want to hate and troll on other YouTubers and content creators.
is other YouTubers doing that? Okay,
Oh yeah,
I
man.
might need to get on now. I'll probably check it. I'm definitely gonna watch though, for sure.
Yeah. So it should be a good one.
It sounds like it's gonna be a good one.
But go
Dang.
ahead and finish your point, like you were saying.
Okay, so I was just telling them like what helps. Okay, so like anyway, the relationship I was in, she was very cunning. Like I said, it was somebody from New York. So that's a different level. I didn't realize the different level of playerism that they had in New York. Them folks is on a different level. So I'm a very vigilant person, but at the time my ego was too big. My ego was a lot bigger than it is now. Because I was the quarterback. I played basketball, point guard, so I was used to being able to have my way.
Right, right.
So she was able to play on my ego to make me feel like everything is good. But behind the scenes, behind my back, as soon as I turn the corner, she doing something else.
Right.
So that was a good learning lesson for myself. And what I mean by working on yourself, like I took at least 3 years to myself before I was even trying to even think about having a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like I would do my little side quest or whatever, but I wasn't even trying that. So
I mean, that's actually a good plan, man. I did it multiple times in my lifestyle, in my lifetime, man. You know, in between each marriage, literally, it was a 5 to 10 year break.
wow.
I would take at least a year off or 2 years off a dating period once I got out of a relationship, strictly because I didn't want to take bad habits into the next relationship. I worked on myself. You get what I'm saying? Therapy, whatever. I reflected on some of the things that happened in relationships, see if it was my fault, a fault that I could have corrected or whatever. I've never gone into a relationship with bad habits when it comes to, jumping from one to another. Appreciate you, Uncle Guns, for jumping in. I know Tippy Cast is on, so I didn't know if you were going to come in here. You were going to stay with Tippy Cast, but I'm going to be on later tonight. So I appreciate you coming on now. But 9 o'clock is the big one.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Uncle Guns. Yeah, this just impromptu. I didn't plan it at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I come with subjects, I just gotta let it out real quick.
But if you're talking about Mexico, the Yucatan is really good. Cenotes are big time in Yucatan and the Cancun, Tulum area. And cenotes, you know what those are, right? The underground waters. So
No.
they have a lot of these caves, right? And these caves have like underground spring water, fresh water and shit. That's why they never. I understand why they never were thirsty. They had all these cenotes underneath the damn ground.
And it's fresh water, like
Fresh water, yeah.
they got something like that in DR. It's called a
Mhm.
Three Eyes Cave. I did a video on that on my channel.
Yeah, so there's a lot of those, and then with the Yucatan, they have all the Mayan temples and stuff like that. So there's a lot of sightseeing to go along with being there.
Right.
Besides for the beach life, you got some some architecture, some ancient stuff that you can go see. While you're down there.
It's one big YouTuber I saw that was down there recently. I think it was Chicken Effect, but
Possibly,
he was in a different part of Mexico than I'm trying to go to. So I was like,
quite possibly, a lot of them go down there, and they hop from there to wherever they're going next. Like, could be they're in Mexico 1 second, next thing you know, they're in Colombia or someplace like Ecuador or whatever, or they'll jump into Brazil. So a lot of them will take us because that's a good place to take a breather. I mean, the whole time during the pandemic, mostly everything was closed, or you had to wait 30 days in a hotel or 15 days quarantine or whatever. Mexico wide open, bro. You go down there, ain't no quarantine, what, nothing. You go right in. So
Oh,
it was like so nice when you wanted to get away during the pandemic for that 2 years. Mexico was wide open, so I was always in Cancun, always.
what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but yeah,
Oh, shout
Cancun,
out to Brittany.
Tulum, going down Baja California, like that's on the West Coast, where QB Passport right now is in Mexico. I think he's getting ready to meet up with his girl tomorrow. I think
Hey,
they're in
hey, y'all don't
Sinaloa.
wait. Y'all don't block out Brittany. Y'all don't block out Brittany.
Who is Brittany?
She one of my subscribers. She said most don't like black women. Somebody probably thought she was being negative.
Mm. Mm-mm.
She probably talking about what I said about Africa though. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, but that's true. I mean, even Austin said it. Austin said, when he started putting out black women in Africa, his content dropped. His subscriber base, some of them left, and then his views started to drop off. So yeah, there's a lot of issues within, and I can't speak for him because I'm not a passport bro, but there's a lot of people in the passport bro community that do have something against African American women. You
Wow.
know, whether it like I said, trauma is trauma, bro, and you shy away from those things that are traumatic to you. If you don't seek therapy for them, then yeah, you harbor ill will and everything else, and you don't know how to deal with it. So you seek to look other places. So, a lot of these brothers, man, they jump from one relationship to another. They don't know how to be by themselves. They don't know how to, go through therapy or do some kind of, woo sign somewhere on their own. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's another great point though, because the girl that I was talking about, she I noticed that about her personality. She could never be alone.
Hmm.
So that's when I started realizing like how bad she was really doing me because she didn't couldn't control herself.
Right.
So
And that works on both sides. There's a lot of women that jump from relationship to relationship because they're afraid of being alone, and same thing with men. But again, that comes from your upbringing. How was your upbringing? Were you a latchkey kid? Did you have a problem with dependency? Your mom didn't show you enough attention? Well, those are all factors in how you perform and how you act throughout your life. Even, not to mention him, but, James grew up in a rough situation in Connecticut.
mm,
You get what I'm saying?
right.
So sometime when you have traumatic events, even though you think you've coped with them and you dealt with them, you really haven't.
But he didn't
We
say wait, James didn't say he said that he was willing to go to Africa. He said he'd been to Africa though.
Right. But I'm not just saying for Africa. I'm just saying how you handle certain things in your life. If
Right.
you don't get the proper training, that's why I say, understand who you are, go through 16personalities.com, figure out who your personality, do some self work. That's what it is. It's about doing work on yourself, not only physically, but mentally,
But he at least
financially.
turned his thing positive though,
And
because
that's what I told him. I
he
said,
went
man,
in the
congratulations. I
military.
mean, you went to the Navy, you did a
Right.
lot of positive things coming out the environment that you're
Right.
in.
That's
A lot of people don't, like I said, I came from Baltimore, Maryland.
right.
I
Okay,
don't
so you
look like
know.
it and I don't sound like it. You get what I'm saying?
Damn, I
When
didn't.
you escape your situation, you change your destiny. This don't mean you go back to it and try to relive the shit or even live in it. You left it for a reason. Why are you going back? Once people progress, for some reason, they want to go back in the same place they grew up out of. No, you change, you start to transition your life. You look for better things. You don't go try to go back in your same environment. Why? That's why some of these dudes, even when they travel, I'm like, yo, why are you going to the hood? You got out of the hood for a fucking reason. So you go to another country to go right back in the fucking hood. To prove what? You
That's,
get what I'm saying?
that's a lot of people die like that. A lot of people end up losing their life. I mean, I ain't mean to say die, but losing their life.
Yeah, true. Facts.
But that's messed up.
And
So
it's frustrating to me because it's like, yo, you haven't changed your mentality. You can make all the money in the world, but until you start making changes mentally and making an effort to do something outside your comfort zone, because people get in their comfort zones. You comfortable with being in the hood and always having your head on a swivel, then that's what you're always going to want to do.
comfortable
And you're going to
lifestyle,
miss it. And you're
same.
going to miss it when you don't have it anymore. So you're always going to seek that. type of environment so you can get back to where you're comfortable. That's not necessarily the best place to be.
I think that's holding back a lot of the people that want to be passport bros as well. Because
That's the mentality of a plantation bro. He don't want to make change. He don't want to do anything different. They are going to die in the same neighborhoods they were born in or raised in. That's that mentality. You know, the sky is falling. The
I think
old school nursery story. You know what I'm saying?
because it's like, oh, I get the girls. Why can't you get the girls? Like, yeah, I mean, obviously we can see it's a lot of passport bros that probably wouldn't get a lot of girls here, but it's also guys that get girls that are saying the same thing. So what is the problem? It's not that.
It ain't that, because there's a lot of guys that think they couldn't get women if they had just only made the attempt to go overseas. How much easier it would be for them to even approach the woman, and how much welcoming she is for the approach, that she's willing to talk to them so they can come out of that shyness, or that hesitancy of wanting to interact with the opposite sex. Where you talk about incels and the black pills and all these other people that are just grown up in the basements of their parents and played video games and have antisocial skills. They don't know how to socialize and all these different things. They go to these countries with any kind of humility, and they'll be welcomed.
Right.
Not being boisterous, but humility. You go into a country with humility, willing to learn, willing to interact. People will feel that, and they'll interact with you.
That's true. That's true. I think that's being real to yourself. Like I was saying earlier, it's like the most important thing that you can do in life because that makes you who you are. But when you're trying to act like something different, people can't really tell that, and they're gonna you're gonna have a problem. And
They're gonna they're gonna pull your ticket and call you on it.
exactly, I think that's the biggest problem people have when they go to jail or anything like that. Any if you go in there and you acting like you the toughest guy in the world and you about to knock somebody out, somebody's gonna catch you slipping fast. And it's the same mentality in the street. It's just on a different vibe. It's a different level.
Definitely.
So, do you ever think that passport bros will get over that though and make it to the motherland?
Damn. That's There are more and more going now, which I'm happy that they are a lot more brothers at least attempting to go and at least expose the cultures and the countries that are there, the continent itself and different cultures, and getting in touch with who they are. I've always said, right along with understanding your personality, the one thing with our culture is we've been robbed of our identity.
Right.
White people have what they call the family crest. Okay. They can track their history and their lineage all the way back to Europe, whether it's royalty or not. By the way, I do have royalty in my family, but
Hey,
you can track your family crest. And with that crest gives you an identity, knows where you come from. We have stolen identities. We have assumed identities. Massa might have went in the slave quarters, but all of a sudden we're Indians,
right.
not mixed with white because Massa, took advantage of great great grandma,
Right.
unbeknownst to, you know, everybody else in the family, because then changed the story up.
Mhm.
Right along with doing your personality test, I encourage everybody to get their ancestry done. No Excuse has gotten his done twice. He did the 23andMe, and then he did the African heritage, so he can track all the way to his African tribal uh, ancestry. I've done the ancestry.com, and I did mine strictly so I can find my family. My mom was stolen as a child from by her foster parents.
Oh
So
wow.
we didn't really have a true identity on my mother's side. Now I knew my father's side and his whole history and all the different things that was going on with him, but my mother,
Right.
as far as we knew, she was in a foster home all her life. Come to find out, the foster parents actually stole her and moved across town. This is back in the 40s. So as long as the child was being taken care of, she was always known as, Joanne, the daughter of, or the said daughter of Lottie and James whoever the last name was. You get what I'm saying? It was always the said parents of. They didn't know who she belonged to. Well, the parents did, her foster parents did, but the school districts and everybody else didn't even bother to ask. I was like, how the hell you even have a birth certificate? You get what I mean? How are you running around at 80 years old now? She's 80. I found her parents, her real family, when she was 70.
What?
Yes. So she even has an identity crisis when it comes to even mixing with her newfound family. Half the reason why I moved down to Texas was to get in close contact and proximity to a lot of the relatives I found on her side because we're from Opelousas, Louisiana. We're,
Wow.
We're French Creoles and
Okay.
the Canadian French Creoles. So, I've tracked that family side
That's
all the
diverse.
way back. Yeah.
Gee.
So, yeah. So it's a long story and it's an engrossing one, but I like genealogy because I've always been a student of history.
Right.
There's certain things that you can never lie about. Math, because it doesn't change. It's never going to lie to you. You put an equation in, it's going to give you the right answer every fucking time.
Exactly.
And history, because it's already done. You can't go back and change history. Once it's written in the book, depending on who the victor was and if they wrote it down accurately, because that's also a fact. The history books are written by the victors, not by the losers. And sometimes those books get changed. So you
Shout out
even
to
have
Ray
to look
Money
at
in the
history.
building.
What's going on, Ray Money? My boy. It makes sense. You're Canadian, eh? Yeah, I actually do have a lot of Canadian French relatives.
Uh-huh.
Even to the point of the Prime Minister of Canada right now, Justin Trudeau. He's a cousin.
Wow, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't even know who the prime minister took.
And the Canadian side of my family acknowledges the Creole, Afro Creole side of the French side of the Louisiana family.
Okay,
So there is nobody in denial in my family all the way through the chain.
that's what's up. Especially being so, borderline. That's good. That's good to hear. That's what I was saying. Okay, so earlier in the broadcast, I was saying that like um, the good people have to take pride into their actual heritage. A lot of us are mixed. We're all mixed with something. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, if you feel like you're looked at as a black person and you feel like you are a black person, then and you're a positive one. We need that. We need that to be the representation of us, not the negative people, not the people that's acting stupid and dressing like clowns and doing clown shit everywhere, man. Everybody should be tired of that by now. We doing it for the likes
But
and dollars.
salute passport blueprint. I just noticed some people come in the room. I wanted to acknowledge them coming through my side. So,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. But yeah, you're right. And we talked about this a little bit last time on the live was status for some reason in our community gives you precedence to where you represent our community. When the fuck did that start happening?
Right.
Just because you have money, all of a sudden now you're a representative of our whole culture? Say what?
I mean, I believe it's important, but it's not the only factor, man.
I know a lot of people that have wealth. I don't want them representing me, speaking for me, or saying any goddamn thing for me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, we used to be able to pick our community leaders. Now they're automatically assigned based on wealth. I don't know how that happened, but it needs to stop.
I mean, I think we can all play our part though. Like I try to look at positive content a lot, informative content. I try to make
Right.
sure that. So that's a way of supporting. You can do that. You can support people that are just positive and you want to see them do good things for other people. So, I mean, that's what I was saying. Like going to other countries, when you're doing that, you could do a lot of things that I didn't realize I could do until now that I'm back in Atlanta. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of stuff I could have did. A lot of opportunities I missed. So we got to make sure that we don't miss those opportunities, and we let people know. Like I had a girlfriend one time. I didn't even know she was like about my complexion, maybe a little bit lighter, and she was like, I'm not black. And I was like, what?
Uh-oh.
Right
Don't
here
say she
in
was
Atlanta.
Dominican. Don't do that. No
No,
black, no
no,
black
no.
thing.
She was here. You know, it's a lot of different kind of people here though.
Oh,
Cause
yeah, there's American Indians that are dark skinned, obviously. You
right.
know.
But when I met their parent, mama was black, so I was like, what? All right, well, you know, everybody coming. But now that I realize, I'm like, I'm glad that she feel that way because she wasn't really a good person when it came down to it. So that's why I said, if you're a good person, then you need to represent. But if you're a bad person, then go ahead
Yeah, we don't need you claiming it.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead and continue to think what you think you are. You know. But yeah, man, I I
Yeah.
dealt with racism so much, and you would think because I'm so light, I hadn't. From
Mm,
reverse racism to straight up racism, but I've also witnessed it and spoke to it when people didn't think I was
right.
because of the way I speak. You know, the way I speak is because I had a speech impediment as a child. I had pneumonia. And
What?
as a child, my mom knew I was going to start stuttering. So she sent me to speech school so I knew how to sound words out at a very young age. So I started speaking a lot better, quicker than most kids because of that extra training and sounding out words.
Mm, that's imperative.
What's going on, Ray Money?
What's going on, fellas? How you doing?
Oh, look at this boy, man. All
You didn't
freshed out
stand up.
outside.
Yeah.
Got the nice trim going on the beard. What's going on, bro?
Oh no! I need a lineup, man. I get a lineup every week, so it's been a while. I'm saving up for this trip to Puerto Rico, so I'm trying to
Mm.
skim where I need to as far as haircuts and stuff like that. Because I do be taking it a little bit too far. But thank you, man. I appreciate the
Man,
acknowledging the.
I just trimmed mine up because I did this TikTok. I'm doing TikTok shop, and they sent me a beard trimmer. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just did this beard trimmer thing today. I just shot the video. I got to produce it and put it on TikTok. But the
Okay.
trimmer
What
was
you?
okay, man. But it's not for long bearded type of people. It's for people that have like the 2 day shadow to the week long shadow where the beard isn't, but maybe a quarter of an inch long. But the
Yeah.
longer the beard hairs are, it really because it has a vacuum to it. The catch
Oh.
is it sucks the hair up into the vacuum part. So then all you have to do is pull the compartment off and dump the hair out. You know,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's specifically for a beard trimmer. But
So
yeah,
you got it on Temu or TikTok?
TikTok. It's a TikTok
Oh,
shop
okay.
right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, that's
Yeah, man.
cool.
I'm
That's
starting
cool.
to
That's
work
cool.
my affiliate. I'm starting to work my affiliate marketing, man. You go in my description, I got shit up in there. I have a direct link with Insta 360. So all the Insta 360 stuff, I have an affiliate link for. So I was
Right.
an Amazon affiliate. I let that drop off for a minute, but I'm about to pick that back up. You know, so
Oh,
I'm about
that's
to
what's
get
up.
my affiliate marketing shit on because I sold for over 40 years, man. You know, that's
Wow.
part of my life is selling. I've been
I
selling
got I
everything
got
from cars to life to whatever.
I got sucked into the Manscaped thing, so I went and I bought a nose hair trimmer from Manscaped, and that shit didn't trim nothing. I was like, yeah, this is some bullshit,
No,
man.
Was it
I
ripping
fell for
out
the
your
market.
hairs? Because I've had a couple of those nose trimmers that snatched a hair or two. I was like, ah, damn.
no.
It was ripping the hairs, and it just didn't. Maybe I got nose hairs made of steel or something, man. So I had to go on. It just didn't work. So I went on Amazon and got one of them nose wax kits to
Uh-huh.
get the hair out. That shit hurt like a
That
motherfucker,
shit hurt
man.
too, man. You gotta still
Yeah.
rip that shit out, man.
That shit hurt. You got like I'm getting older, so these old people problems. But I had this one little fucking nose hair that was sticking out right here, man. That shit was bothering the hell out of me, man. I tried clipping it. That shit would just grow right back like 2 days later. So I was
You
like, man, I
talking
need to
about
just
old?
wax this shit.
You talking about old people problem, man? I got hair in my ears, my nose. I gotta have trimmed out all the time, man. Come on, I'm 56, bro.
I
I
can't.
got all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. I
Did
even
it
got
make
the
you
little
cry? Did
mole.
it make the
I even
tear
got the
come
little
out?
moles. I got a little electronic shocker thing that burns the moles and stuff around your neck.
That shit
So you don't have to worry about those
painful.
little mole things that stick off your neck and stuff. You know, once you get older, you get those what do they call them? Skin tags. I literally burn them off
Ugh.
with an electro shock thing.
Oh wow.
I need to I need to take some stem cell therapy or something like that to prevent me from getting older, man. This shit sucks.
Mhm. Yeah, you
Diet
gotta
and
go to Mexico for
exercises.
that. Mexico or another country does stem cells, but no, you can't do them here. They're still outlawed.
When you plan on going to Puerto Rico?
I'm taking my son, so it's not going to be like a too much vlogging out there. But I'll be out there in third week of June, so from the 17th to the 21st.
Okay, man.
Yeah,
Salute to that, man. Salute to the travel, taking your son too. I think that's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I had the option. It was like, okay, I was thinking about going to Costa Rica with and then I was like, yo, I'm half Puerto Rican. I'm not like, I don't even know no Spanish, so I'm I
What?
identify more. I know no Spanish, yo. I'm half Haitian and I'm half Puerto Rican, right?
Oh
Yo,
wow.
I identify with the Haitian side of my family than with the Puerto Rican side of my family. Like all my friends are Haitian. I'm like the Puerto Rican side of my family is pretty much non-existent in my life, you know.
Gotcha.
So I
See,
just wanted to take him to Puerto Rico first before I took him anywhere else outside the country. That way, at least he can get more in touch with his
it's
Puerto
called,
Rican side and
yeah.
his roots exactly. So
Yeah, man, that's good. I mean, I grew up, my mom always had us on a flight. We were either in Puerto Rico, we went to Jamaica, we went to Bahamas as a kid. I
oh,
told
that's
the
what's up.
story how I learned how to swim in Puerto Rico. At 2.
But
My
she
mom
threw
threw me
you
in
in.
the deep end. Hell yeah, you know how they do. For a long time, I thought we were Puerto Rican. Remember, my mom has an identity issue. You get what I'm saying? My mom didn't know what she was. So we went down there. So I learned Spanish as a young kid. So I could listen
Wow.
to people's conversations and answer them in English. I could never just speak it, but I knew exactly what they were saying.
Hey, give me. I'll be right back. Let me go find my kid. I'm at the playground. Give me
Oh,
1 second. I'll be
yeah,
back.
yeah. Go find your kid.
So, yeah, man. Salute the
But yeah,
brother.
so we had identity problems. So every time we were around a certain culture, man, we didn't know if we belonged or not. That's what I'm saying. It's real important to understand where you really come from. Don't go with these old wives' tales and the stories of the family. Go get your genealogy done. Go take an ancestry dot $56. Sometimes it goes as low as, like I said, $60 or as high as $99 to get your DNA checked. You know what I'm saying?
I
Just
think
to know.
I think I never really thought about getting my DNA checked. My dad got his DNA checked, but we was raised differently. Like I said, I was born traveling, so to me, it just was all about the confidence in yourself makes you comfortable anywhere. Like everywhere I go, I am comfortable because I'm me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like whether I'm
And it's
in
not even a
Germany
comfort thing.
around,
It's just knowing. When you
yeah,
know,
I
it like
don't feel
unlocks something in you. When you know your ancestry, it unlocks something that you're not necessarily
I know,
100%
but I'm
on.
saying I know who most of my grandparents are. My dad, I know who they are. So, I know my dad told me about his great great granddad and all this.
Mhm.
His great great grandmom. I seen my mom's side of the family. My grandma, she
Right. But we
my
can only
grandma
go
90.
back to like 1865 or so. You get what
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying?
I don't need to go back too much further myself. Like I don't know. I don't feel like I gotta keep on figuring it out about my
As far
DNA.
as
I don't even
yeah,
believe
as
the DNA test for real like that much off the rip.
yeah, that's the thing, Style King. Yo, so a lot of you got to go to a reputable DNA research agency that has privacy at the forefront, right? Because you're giving up besides your fingerprint, your DNA is sacred to you. So you want to be
Mhm.
sure that the people that you're sharing your DNA with aren't sharing it with anyone else.
Man, they
Um, and
cloning
so
y'all. They clone y'all.
right, and like you said, trust in those a lot of those DNA places like I don't know 23andMe, Ancestry.com. They all have data breaches. They're all losing your data, and some of their results they're using aggregate data, and which is I guess it's somewhat reliable. But I would just go with someone who has a little bit more privacy focus than Ancestry and 23andMe. Hold on, buddy. Hold on.
Great point. That's a great point.
Yeah, because it would just be a shame that someone gets your data and who knows sometime far in the future or maybe in the near future people will be able to do stuff with that information regarding your
They
DNA,
can.
right? They can already, but you've got this thing called CRISPR, which is basically the ability for people to create like sort of like genetic medicine based on genetics and make
Correct.
changes to your genome, right? imagine if someone could just create a poison that will only affect you, or you know what
Oh,
Right,
I'm saying,
right.
or that only affects your genetic
And,
downline. So you got to be careful with
right.
DNA and genetics.
And coming from the medical industry with the insurance, I know a lot of clients now when they treat cancer, the cancer drug is specifically spun for your genetics.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so the
Yep.
treatment is specifically spun for your type of fucking genetics for that type of disease.
Yep.
And that's
That's
why
right.
there's so many more people recovering now more often from cancer than ever before because they have gone down to the genome in order to treat the cancer that's attacking them.
Yep.
right. That's a
And
good
then
positive reason to do it.
Well,
yeah, and
at
but
that point,
another
yeah.
people are getting caught up on murders too. So I don't know if you got anybody murders,
He
robberies, all
said,
kinds of
"You
shit.
ain't got no bodies on you, do you, bro?"
Nah. But it don't even have to necessarily do with you. It could be somebody in your family that donates DNA, and then you get like they know that okay, this person is related. They can link you to what the fuck? These kids are screaming
Oh,
like crazy.
Are they
They
having
can
fun
link you.
screaming or are they mad screaming?
Nah, this some just kids. You know, kids just be wilding out, man. You know, I'm at a
Oh yeah.
playground, so I don't know what these kids doing. But yeah, they could link you to crimes, or they can link family members to crimes based off you getting a DNA test. So you got to be kind of careful there too. I don't know. You know, is that considered snitching? I don't know, but you know, I would just as a general measure, if you do get a DNA test, I would want to do it. Like my mom's done it. Um, and I didn't trust the results what she got. But if you do it and you feel like you have the need to do it just for your own self, I say go for it, right? But then just make sure that whoever you choose destroys your information or is at the very least very very privacy focused because
Except
DNA
for what
is
you said, Ray Money, about data breaches. I know like Ancestry has a privacy thing where they do
mm,
not share your DNA. It's up to you to share your DNA code if you wanted to get more exposure to other networks, but they do not share. What Ancestry says is the more people that test with them, the better they can kind of like zero in
mm,
on your genome and all the different ethnicities that you potentially go to. So what Ancestry does is they constantly update your ancestry. The more people that take in their system the DNA test, the more they can refine your DNA identity. You get what I'm saying?
mm.
The more people in the database, the better they can refine it. So
Which means that the first participants in their database maybe got inaccurate data, right? Or maybe even if you're
mine's changed a
getting,
little bit. Mine has changed a little bit. They refined it a little bit
yeah,
more. They might have dropped one or two of the 1% items off and changed them to something else where it could have been a potential this, but it's not a potential that. Like, believe it or not, my mom has a percent of Malaysian in her, which is
mm,
believable. My mom's barely 5'1". She's a little, she looks like a little Asian lady, tell you the truth.
yeah,
So I'm like, yo, where does height come from? I'm 6'2", bro.
wow.
And my mom's barely 5'1", looking like a little Asian lady. So I'm like, where'd this come from?
yeah, man. So you know, I would just be cognizant of that, like if you felt driven to do that. So,
Yeah,
but I just wanted to join you guys and just chat with y'all. 'Cause
yeah,
I wanted to join the live stream the other day with no excuses on there
Oh
because
yeah.
he was
yeah.
talking some shit that to me it didn't make much sense. Uh, and I didn't want to just join to be contrarian.
No, that's
Uh,
what we want, man. If you got pushback, that's the point of these lives, man, to get answers to your pushback or your doubts or wants. I mean, even me and James bumped heads. So it doesn't mean that you're going to get an end all resolution. You can agree to disagree as grown men, but it's still
yeah,
if you got pushback, push back.
James the Fed, James with the forehead games. Nah, James is cool, man. James is cool.
Yeah.
He just be over talking. But no. So more specifically, I think No Excuses was talking about raising his son or raising his children in an African country because they would have power over there, whereas if you raised them in Western society, they would be powerless or wouldn't have as much power.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I heard that whole discussion. Yeah.
And I appreciate what you just said before, Ronan, about being contrarian and joining and hearing different perspectives. Um, but also there's a time and a place, and my son was sleeping. It was just
Yeah.
not the time and not the place. But um, speaking on that, I think like his perspective was, and I don't know his life experiences to be able to uh, frame his idea properly in my head, but it just seemed like he felt or has gone through some things in his life that made him feel powerless where living in the West. And maybe he's traveled to Africa, maybe he's traveled to, uh, predominantly black countries and has felt uh, powerful, has felt empowered by being there. The only thing I can say is all that comes from within.
True.
Your
Yeah.
your your feelings about your situation, obviously, a lot of it has to do with your external reality, but a lot of the feeling of power, it comes from within. If you're empowered, if you're in touch with your spiritual side, if you're in touch with your own culture, and that may be hard for some people because they feel like they don't have a culture. But I think like that all comes from within, and to say that, if you're raised in Western culture as a man of color, that you don't have any power, I think is a little bit misleading and kind of like, I don't know, going into the situation with like hopeless almost,
That's true.
I,
That type of perception does give you kind of like a sense of hopelessness. Like there's nothing you can do here. Best thing you can do is just go. Which is what
I don't.
that plays right into the KKK's idea. Y'all should have just went back to Africa when you got your freedom.
Yeah, and I think the world is every black man's oyster. You know what I'm saying? Every man has the potential to be great. I believe that wholeheartedly. Doesn't matter if you went to prison before, doesn't matter if you came from a well-to-do family or if you came from the gutter. Everyone has the potential to do great, and everyone has the potential to be a piece of shit.
Right.
And it's all up to that individual and how they move and maneuver through life is what makes or breaks them, and what their idea of what power is. Because not everybody wants to be a politician, not everybody wants to be in charge of other people. Some people just want to settle back and just be happy with a nice family, white picket fence. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm in
So,
that mode, bro. I'm in that mode right now.
hey, I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm just trying to get my money up so I could eventually move my son once he turns 18 up out of here. We ain't gonna be in the United States no more. There's a whole wide world that we want to go and experience. So
Right.
Into that.
You have an idea where you haven't picked a final resting place as far as where you're going to call your home base?
nah, I think I always have a house out here in Atlanta. And sorry, hold on.
Oh, you in Atlanta too? Okay.
Yeah. So I just had to kick the ball for them kids over there playing soccer. I'll always have like a resting, like a home here in Atlanta. Like I live in Stone Mountain, so I'll always have a home here. But
Stone Mountain.
but I think
East Side in the building.
yeah, East Side Zone 6. But I don't know, man. Like that's why I went to Panama. That's why I want to explore more South America.
Have you been to Southeast Asia yet? Any countries over there?
I have not. No, I have not been to Southeast Asia, and I always wanted to go. When I was in the military station in San Diego, I had missed the Westpac, so I didn't
What
get that
branch were you in?
opportunity.
You were in the Navy, right?
Yeah, I was in the Navy. Yep, on subs.
Hey, bro.
Because I got off the boat. Like I got off the boat, man. I was on submarines. I lost my clearance.
Westpacks are fucking lovely. I love them.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back, fellas. I gotta
All
get
right.
this kid something to drink.
Hey, well, I just want to piggyback on something that you had said earlier that's totally off topic. But they actually was sending slaves back though. Like once they let people free, they had sent some people back. That's where Libya, I think it's Liberia, but
Mhm.
Liberia, a lot of them. And
Or
then,
even some of the Latin cultures that
but
were
then
shipping
wait,
down
wait.
there.
Then Lincoln, I think Lincoln was trying to take a lot of them to somewhere else. I think it was a different country. I can't remember the name of the country, but then he got killed. So they got
Believe me, Lincoln wasn't all for freeing of the slaves. It was kind of like pushed upon him. He just
I'm
happened
just
to be the
telling you.
president at the time.
I'm just
Yeah.
telling you the history, bro.
No, but I'm saying you're
You
right.
can look up
Lincoln
what
was
I'm
not
saying.
the prohibitor of like I want
Yeah,
slavery
I
to
understand that.
be
I understand
abolished.
that. I
Yeah.
understand. I'm just saying what you said earlier about
Yeah.
the slaves being freed and then not going back to Africa. A lot of them did, and like a lot of them was supposed to go other places too. But Lincoln was the one set it up. He had set up some kind of colony supposed to be called Lincolnia, and then he got murdered. So that stopped. So and then a lot of people felt like they helped build the country too. So why would they leave? But I understand there's a lot of different viewpoints on it.
Yeah.
But
But no, you're right. I mean,
that's just the history I learned. I don't
and,
know.
and
I could
even
be
then, it's
wrong.
like here's the thing. Even with the ending of slavery, and this is why I say that plantation mentality is still going strong. The
Definitely.
plantation mentality back then, even though they were freed, was they were comfortable. They didn't want to go to something they weren't comfortable with, so they'd rather stay where they were.
But
You get what
that
I'm
don't
saying?
explain the people that went to the north then, because if you was comfortable, you wouldn't have went to the north.
Right.
Like my
It
family
doesn't
from the
explain it, but
south.
it
My family
does because
from the south. But
when we get
I got
comfortable for some
family
reason,
members
we
that
don't
did go
want
north.
right. But it still puts you in a place where once you feel like you're comfortable, you don't want to change or shake things up anymore. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that people don't want to do that, especially men. Men, you should always have a calling of wanting to go out and challenge yourself and explore and conquer things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I
So to
think it's a
lose
lot of
that,
them out there. It's just like I said, we only focus on the bottom 20% of black people. Period. That's just the way of looking at things. So if you show up and just like how you might talk to somebody on the phone, Ronin, and they're gonna be like, "I thought you was white," something like that. When they see you in person, they
oh,
might say
I,
that. So
bruh,
that's just an example of the same thing I'm saying. That is
you
normal.
you don't know
It's
how
just
bad it
normal.
was in the Marine Corps. I literally damn near cussed out an officer the first day I was in boot camp. It was a dentist too. I was sitting in a dental chair, and obviously you're already shaved down. They done shaved your head and shaved everything off of you, right? So you're sitting in a dental chair. The dentist literally was getting ready to pull my wisdom teeth out for no reason but the fact that they could impact during a war. He's like, I've looked at everybody I've ever had in my chair, and I can always tell what they were. I'm looking at you right now. I can't tell what you are. I was like, what the fuck? What you mean? What am I?
Wow.
What are you? What nationality are you? I'm a fucking human being. What the fuck? I literally went off on the dude. What does it matter what I am? Pull my fucking teeth.
Yeah,
Ah, damn, really?
that's the
I
wrong way to
mean,
go off on.
first day in, bro. Not even hours in, bro. Already starting. I was like, nah,
Wow. See, I know that you get. Man, it comes in all shapes and forms, though. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. I just was trying to, get a couple points out for real.
No, man. I'm always wanting to jump on your live, brother. You know what I'm saying, and enjoy the conversation. We have good conversations. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
man.
always enlightening to exchange information and knowledge.
I'm supposed to have an interview coming up with
You muted down, Ray, just in case you didn't know.
yeah, I got an interview
Yeah, I
coming
know.
up with a guy from Tanzania that I just met. I was saying that earlier. So
Mhm.
again, for that, hopefully I get that in tomorrow or Monday.
Yeah, we drinking tonight, so I might have to take a little cat nap. Being so old before I get up on this next live, because the next live is gonna be litty.
You got your
Oh, you
panel
going on
already?
Fearless?
Yeah,
Oh, you
and
going on Fearless?
yeah, I'm on that. I'm co-hosting with Fearless and Black Man's Travel if he makes it back, and then me, Andrew Show, and then those two. So it's going to be 4 of us on the initial panel, and then we're going to open up the panel. So yeah, it's going to get lit. But
That's
that don't
what's up.
happen till 9.
Y'all gonna do
So,
an all-nighter?
huh?
Gonna be an all-night?
I don't know, man. Black Man Travel sometimes be acting like the oldest man in the room. You know, oh, I got to get up and go work out. Oh, take your sorry ass to sleep, bro. You know, it's 3 other grown men up in this bitch. You
That's
don't
what I need.
need you to stay.
I need an old man in here talking.
I told him, man, there ain't no way you gonna stand up to me drink for drinking. I don't even drink that often anymore. As a Marine, though, man, I used to drink motherfuckers under the table. Ray will tell you, man, we between Marines and sailors, man, we would fucking tear up a bar.
I
Just
still
drink it.
drink motherfuckers under the table.
Yeah,
I still do it.
yeah. And
I
get up and
stop.
run the next fucking day. Like
Wait,
it wasn't shit.
Yeah.
Ron,
Hmm?
do you feel as an OG in this travel game that people give you the proper respect and listen to your advice, or do you feel like this new generation of people like me and uh, younger than me, Austin them, do you feel like they
Honestly,
take your
honestly,
advice?
the majority of the people that hear me talk do listen. The majority. Now there's people in the chat. There's always got to be a hater or two. It's how old, old men don't like this or old men or this, that, and the other thing. But they don't necessarily know me. They just sitting in the chat. But people that know me know I'm not just gonna say any old thing just to get clicks and views. I've even gone in Razor Ray's room, spit knowledge. Everybody's quiet. I leave the room, shenanigans begins again. You get what I'm saying? So it's never been where I've been straight outright disrespected or even warranted being disrespected. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, I think people are pretty, respectful. I don't speak often and I don't speak a lot, really. I'm making myself do this shit now. Really, just to get comfortable with it. I'm about to start doing my lives. I'm just trying to get comfortable with this software. Instead of StreamYard, I'm going to be using Streamlabs.
Streamlabs.
I'm going to get comfortable with Streamlabs before I go live on it. Because there's a lot of other little things to make it more interesting on lives. To do it in Streamlabs versus StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Shout out to StreamYard with the we need a sponsorship.
Oh, a lot of these guys have like affiliate links, man, for Streamlabs and StreamYards, and I see affiliate links in a lot of people's channels. When you go in their description, they got an affiliate link. So when you join through them, they get like a little kickback or whatever. So I always look.
Streamlabs makes the hardware and the software, right? Like they have their own hardware devices you can buy also, right?
Yeah, like I got an Elgato Stream Deck sitting here and some other
Elgato
things.
Stream Deck.
Yeah, I got that sitting here waiting to do sounds and shit like that. But my
So
brain,
Style King,
yeah.
if you ever get a chance, go to Micro Center, and I think Marietta is the closest one to you. I think you said you on the south side.
Yeah.
They got all that stuff there you can play with. I'm thinking about getting it, but I don't be hopping on the lives as much.
Man, I ain't been to Micro Center. I don't taste it. Okay.
Yeah, they got all that stuff there.
Oh yeah, it used to be like I used to work for CompUSA and Computer City back in the day. So again, I'm dating myself. I used to love selling that shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the toys and whistles and all that, man.
Yeah, I definitely need to upgrade my system, man. I just, I didn't plan on being in Atlanta so soon, but I'm here, and I got some business I can take care of, and I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna hit the road again.
What's next?
Like I said, right now I think I'm gonna bounce in between Mexico and some South American countries that are close while I'm working on this new property that I'm trying to get. But after I get that where I want to get it, I'm gonna go probably Africa or
The way I have my setup right now, watch this. I'm gonna drop my camera. I've got a GoPro. See how this is a little bitty ass computer. It's hand size, so it's portable. I can take everything and shove it into like a little portable backpack or like a Pelican bag, and I can go and stream anywhere in the country
Oh,
or in
that's
the world. You know, I even got a router sitting back over here that's a very small hand size router that allows you to stream through a VPN. So you don't have to worry about, even when you're in a hotel, somebody jumping
right.
in on the hotel network
Yeah.
and hacking your shit.
Wow. Okay.
And so,
I had a different setup the other day that was working good for me, but then I couldn't hear one of my guests that I brought on, and that kind of messed it up because I was doing like a reaction video.
yeah,
So I just had that technical difficulty, so I just switched back to the good old iPhone.
So where in Mexico you gonna head, man?
I'm thinking about either I think Monterey or
that's
like
good.
the Yucatan Peninsula, like
Nice.
Both places are nice, man. It's just a matter of you refining where you want to go. You know,
yeah. I was thinking like while I'm doing what I'm doing, I can bounce down there for like 3 or 4 days at a time and just feel it out like that.
That's cool.
no, man, I'm gonna have to check that episode out. Drew just said Passport Heavy just did a lot or a video today with some former Marines um, set up shot in Ghana. You know, so I'm gonna have to go check that one out.
Oh wow.
But yeah, man, and that's my whole idea. Like, I'm gonna set up shop in the Philippines. Not that I'm gonna stop traveling, but I'm gonna set up a whole little compound, set up a little solar array, maybe sell some power while I'm out there. You know, off to my neighbors or whatnot. You know, because they have a lot of brownouts and blackouts. I want to be a help to the community that I wind up settling into. You know what I mean?
Right.
That'd be awesome. When are you making that move? Soon, right?
Yeah. This year I'll be going to meet with her and her parents. I'll bring her back for 3 to 6 months while I start closing up shop. I'm gonna buy a shipping container, throw my truck and whatever I want to fucking ship over there, and no later than mid 2025, all my shit will be overseas. Whether I have a house built or whether I'm gonna be leasing while I'm having land purchased and brought.
Wow, that's
Dope.
awesome.
Yeah. You going what? So you doing Puerto Rico as your first, right?
First, what? Like, nah, I'm just going out there just to go out there, take my son out there. It was a kindergarten graduation gift to
Okay.
him.
Where else you been besides Puerto Rico?
As far as YouTubing, Panama was
I
the
love
first that I put on YouTube. Yeah,
I remember. I remember that. Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah, Panama was the first. Puerto Rico's next. I ain't putting too much stuff out uh on Puerto Rico. I think probably after Puerto Rico, I'll go to Costa Rica. The problem is I it's not a problem, but with my schedule, like I'm a full-time parent, so I have my son one week, his mom has him the next week. So getting to Southeast Asia is like a no-go, at least until he's old enough to be like, yo, let me just stay with you for a minute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or just, he's a little bit more autonomous. But for right now, I can't. That trip is just too long. Like, it's 24 hours just to get over there. So unless my job sends me over there, but that shit ain't happening no time soon. So I have to stick with Central America, Europe, South America for now. So my next travel, my next spot, I'm thinking either Costa Rica or actually, funny enough, El Salvador. Because El
I was just
Salvador's,
thinking about El Salvador.
yeah, they're giving away. Okay, so I'm in the tech industry, and they're giving away 5,000 citizenships to people that are like artists, people in the tech industry, doctors, people that are pretty high up in their field. And so I'm thinking about applying for one of those. And really, uh, I'm doing all of this, like traveling, is to co-locate myself. So when I say like I don't know where I'm going to end up, like I'll definitely have my spot here in Georgia, but a second citizenship is my goal, my ultimate goal, second and third. I've got family in Antigua, right? So like my aunt is down there. She's back and forth between Queens and Antigua. So I was asking her. She's thinking. So I was gonna do one of the Caribbean islands like Antigua, Saint Lucia, Saint Kitts, or Dominica, and I'll probably later on this year take her and my son to Saint Lucia, and then we'll try to maybe island hop because I want to find out which is the best island to become a second citizenship to get my it's called citizenship by investment, and
Yeah.
so I'll have to shell out that 100 to 150 for that second citizenship, but then that opens you to visa free travel to all over the place, Russia, all over the EU, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia. So
Mm, okay, that's dope. You said
yeah,
Dominica does that?
Dominica. So all of them do it.
Dominica.
Like yeah, Dominica. Saint Kitts, Saint Lucia, Antigua, and Dominica are the four of the main islands because those are the islands that are the cheapest to do it. Right? It's
No.
What?
No.
Dang, he just like dropped like bam, gone. What happened?
I did that on accident. I tried to solo him.
Oh, that's why he dropped off so fast. I ain't never seen nobody drop like that fast. Usually they hang up because it's like
I
a
tried to solo him.
connection issue. Don't solo me, man. You gonna drop me off.
I tried to solo him.
You gonna drop me off next, bro. Get me off that solo, man. You gonna push the wrong button and I'll be gone. But yeah,
He was
man.
kicking some knowledge.
Yeah.
Sorry, my boy.
That's one thing, man. Kings, man, you be getting some people up here be dropping some shit.
Shout out to the panel. Always a good panel. Every time. Every time we go live, man. That's what it just motivates me to go live more and more and more.
Yeah,
Like,
see, I gotta get in that mode, man. I just playing around this software is just making me a little hesitant. Once I get into the mode, I'm a struggle stream trying to learn this new software. But once I do it, it's just gonna be a little bit nicer on the presentation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, right, man.
what up? I'm back.
My bad.
Yeah, Style King was hating on you, man. You were kicking too
Hey
much
man,
knowledge. He had to kick you off.
Bad.
hey man, it's all good. I love the haters. But what I was saying was that what I was saying was that so those four places in the Caribbean are like the most sought after for quick turnaround on a second citizenship. Generally, it takes like 3 to 6 months to get it, and it's also like the cheapest places that you can go that will offer visa-free travel to those other countries, like the EU, Eastern Europe, and then some countries in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
So,
I heard
um,
Belize was really easy about giving you citizenship as well.
yeah,
And
Belize
you
is
can
another
buy
one.
land because I think Passport Heavy brought land in Belize.
Oh yeah.
So
Yup, yup. So, but fellas, I just wanted to hop on the live. I gotta go. I gotta get my son. My son's is acting a fool over there in the playground.
man,
So
it's
it's time for him.
Friday. Let him act a fool, man. It's Friday.
I got
Let him go
mosquitoes
and
eating
do
my ass up too, and I gotta cook. So I gotta
Appreciate
cook for him.
you too, bro.
No, I get that.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on the live stream, Style
All
King
right,
and
brother,
Ronin.
man.
Much appreciated.
Ray,
Salute to
always
y'all.
welcome, man. Always welcome, bro.
Always
Thank you, fellas. All right.
do it. Yeah, man. That was
All
dope.
right.
Good, great panel again. Man, all we missing was James. He probably on Razor. But yeah.
Ray's already had one. He's gonna have another. So yeah, Ray's be doing 2 a day sometimes. You know, when he's in that mode.
I missed the first one, bro. I was riding and I saw a link and I was like, oh man.
I think the first one wasn't a live. It was like a pre-recorded breakup. There's no excuse.
Hey, we got
Right on
big
time.
dog in the building now, man.
No, you at the graveyard shift, man. I'm about to get off here, but we're about to get back on the Lions Den. You need to pull up on that one. Definitely.
I'm gonna come check it out.
There's gonna be some drama tonight.
That's gonna be crazy.
4 hosts, and there's gonna be a live panel too.
That's gonna be crazy. y'all got a crazy topic though. The topic is crazy.
Ooh.
It's always a good topic when we got you on the panel though. So, what about the male feminist though? You think we're always gonna have a male feminist problem in the
Oh,
United
you're always
States?
going to have somebody that's going to be, pulling for the, look, I I love women. Okay, I I, I can't get around it. I'm always going to love women. I just don't like some of the things they're doing now. They've gotten away from the traditional values. Can you find American women that do that? Absolutely. I still date in America. I was dating in America. I was taking American women on
To the
trips with me.
American.
I was taking American women on trips with me. I was taking sand to the beach.
Oh yeah,
Guaranteed that way.
I mean we all guilty of that.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, um, it's just like I said, the morality, the ethics, the entitlement, the delusion, all the things that are going on in the Western Hemisphere. And it's not just American women, it's other women too. And it's actually no excuse even said it's leaking over to Africa in
Yep.
some cultures over there. This entitled delusion of what they feel like they rate that's really over the top outside of what they should be thinking they're entitled to. You know,
It's the
it's
web
getting
of
bad.
the shadow people have descended everywhere, bro. It's just up to the people now. It's just up to the person to make good decisions.
It truly is.
I think the more people that make bad decisions, it normalizes the culture into making bad decisions.
And,
And I,
and social media doesn't help it because everything is amplified to the nth degree. One
right.
little thing. Like, there's not that many passport bros. There's not that many black people, period, traveling, really. But
Right.
we're taking up what? I mean, no excuse to probably give you the statistics on the algorithm when it comes to a passport bro hashtag. Y'all on the algorithm, period. Whether it be a negative or a positive, y'all on there. You know what I mean? So you talking about 1% of 1% that's hogging up a whole algorithm and
Like I
is being
said,
spoke about on many channels
I was all the way
day and night.
Salvador, Brazil, and somebody was like, you heard about the passport bros?" And I was like, "What? No, tell me,
Yeah,
tell me."
well, what are you doing even knowing about that shit down here? You know what I mean? But that's how ridiculous that the internet and how small the internet has made everything. You know,
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
my day, like I said, it was always the biggest thing you could do is get with the finest chick in the county. Now you looking world fucking wide at a
Yeah,
chick.
yeah.
I mean, I never looked at the chick I found. Well, I didn't find her; she found me. But I would have never even thought to look there. Beside for when I went,
Oh yeah, yeah. So, so do you feel like that's what you have to do now, or do you feel
what
like what age should you become a passport bro?
what age you should get your passport is any age you ready to travel.
Nah, that's not the question. I'm saying
I don't want to use that word, bro. And no excuse knows, man. I'm old school. I've been doing this way before that.
of
I think
course you have
everybody
a
should own
passport.
a passport. I think
Right.
everybody. In most countries, you have a passport as your ID card. It's
Right. You
only
should
in
have a
America we
passport
can
as
get
a
away with a
child.
driver's license or
Children.
just a personal ID. But
You
you should
should.
always have a passport.
Right, but
Now,
what age should you be looking beyond the scope of the
I
United States?
think any responsible parent should already have their kids traveling before they even become of age of 18. Really. I don't. I think, like I said, the world is that small now with the internet and everything else.
So
Kids
you
don't
don't
just want
agree?
to go to fucking Disneyland anymore. And Disneyland right now is a fucking mint. You might as well get them on a plane and fly somewhere to the Caribbean and have fun.
That's true. It is definitely gonna burn your pockets.
Yeah, for a little bit of time, and then the hotel is going to kill you, the food around you is going to kill you, and everything else. Even after you go to the theme park, you killing yourself on dollars, man. I mean, major dollars. I mean, at least 5 G's just taking your kids to an amusement park now.
Wow.
Especially if you got a few of them.
I believe that.
I mean, I tagged along with, I had 3 sons at any given time on me. You know, and I usually take a little chick, and she would have a couple kids too. I was dropping dollars.
Yeah.
And this is a long time ago when they were
just
still
going
kids.
Just going out to eat, you gonna run about $300 maybe.
Right.
If you go somewhere nice. It might be more than that depending on how greedy they are.
Yeah. and Mr. Dawkins says, you know, it's definitely as soon as they can get their money right and stable. And yeah, a little weekend fun, you know, go out for a weekend. I mean, here in Texas, they go to God damn it. I knew I was gonna have a brain fart. There's a place right on the other side of Texas that a lot of people go to during spring break. I can't think of it right now. But there's a lot of people that just jump over the border here in San Diego and other places just to do a little traveling on the weekend. So,
Texas
you know,
got a lot of great places to vacation.
in the state and out. Yeah, you're right there on the border, just like you know, San Diego. A lot of people jump down to Baja. They'll go to TJ for a weekend for spring break. They'll go all the way down to Ensenada and other places, Cancun or Cabo on the West Coast, Cancun on the East Coast. You know, so many places. Padre Island, that's what it's called. Padre Island is a Texas thing for spring break.
Oh, okay.
You know, but yeah, as soon as you get your money straight and you're working and you can afford to do a little weekend thing as a kid, you know, work, get your little passport, you know, plan a little weekend trip, whether it be by yourself or with your boys. Go out and stretch your legs. I mean, in the military, I was 19 when I started with the military traveling, but like I said, I've been traveling ever since I was a kid. You know.
Oh wow.
So military just makes it a lot easier to travel. You know, because you're doing missions and you're having fun.
Right. You're making money.
And making money. Right. So I mean,
everybody knows it. They know what you do for a living. Most of the people when they see you.
Yeah, I watch the same channels, Dawkins. You know, he watched channels or their whole families that are living overseas, married couples, you know, they moved overseas. They're giving up being here in America. They have their resources here, but they know their money stretches. And I think we were talking about this the other day on your panel, where, you know, you've seen some ladies overseas that their disposition, even as American women, changed when they're living overseas with their husbands. They're more loving.
Right.
You know, and they realize they need to attach themselves to their significant other, their husbands. You know, because now it's them against the world, literally.
Right.
There's no time to be lackadaisical having your girlfriend in your ear, like, why ain't you happy, girl? Blah blah blah. Why are you doing that? Why don't you just take his money and you can still go fuck with about 5 other dudes too? No, ain't none of that in her ear. It's just him and her.
Wow,
makes a big difference.
Yeah, that I definitely thought about it after I heard that. I definitely never thought about that. Taking bad signs.
I mean, the reason it's taking me so long is my girl don't even have a fucking passport. That's how interested she was on leaving the fucking country.
I don't know.
She just now got her passport this month. She just got her passport.
Do you agree with it though? That's
what?
That you think that's
what?
a good idea to take the sand to the beach, the spoiled sand to the beach?
Well, I don't deal with spoiled women, so the ones I took appreciated me doing it. There's some women that are entitled that you should have done it just because of me, who I am. I don't deal with those type of women. The women I took really appreciated the effort and the things I did in order to put the trip together. Because I lay shit out. I don't do shit cheap. I'm bougie.
Right.
So we stayed in nice places, Airbnbs, had nice restaurants. We did excursions. We did the whole 9. You know, but my thing is I live through my partner's excitement. I've done it. I've been around the world. I've been shot at. I enjoy my life because I know how short life can be. from my work to the things I've experienced all my life. I don't have that drive where I need to lose my mind and make millions of dollars. I know how to make money. I know how to lose money, and I know how to make money again. That's not my drive anymore. You know, quality of life is not my drive, not quantity.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Philippines. That's why you said you're trying to go to the Philippines, right?
Yeah, like I said, man, that'll be my home base. I'm still going to travel. I'll hit up Europe because that's still on my list. But again, I'll be living through her experiences. Even when I bring her back to the States, I'm still going to be living through her experiencing something for the first time. And as a man,
wait, so
you have a woman that has never
retire in the Philippines?
Huh?
You don't want to retire in the Philippines?
No, I'm absolutely retiring in the Philippines. I'm just bringing her back here for 3 months. She's going to be on a tourist visa. If something goes wrong, her ass is going back. She ain't staying.
Okay, you're going to give it a little trial run. That's good.
Right. So, but at the end of the day, living through somebody else's experiences after you get a certain age, it's because you've already done it all. It starts to get a little bit boring. How many times you can go to DR before it fucking starts getting boring? How many times you can go to Brazil before it starts getting boring? How many women can you literally F before it starts getting boring? And then how else can you live your life once all that becomes boring? You live through certain other people's experiences. You live through the excitement of seeing them appreciate what you already appreciated all your life, or for a greater portion of it. You get what I'm saying?
That's
a different perspective when you start thinking like that.
That's what I don't understand about the S tourism. Like, that's crazy. You could do that here for real. Like, you don't have to.
But after you get a certain age, man, I'm telling you, it gets old. It's
definitely a variety here, though. You know, like women, if you're into that, you know.
I've been through every type, every shape, every type. I need more than that. I need a connection.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's not that, what's the point of traveling to? That's crazy. But anyway, I digress. Everybody has their own. I don't care what you do with your time, but that's kind of the point, though.
But again, they have to get to that point. It's a thing. Even you could say it's a rite of passage as a man. It's a rite of passage as a man. You got to get to a point where you appreciate the fact that you understand why quantity does not matter. It's quality that matters. You got to keep on beating your head against the fucking wall until you realize it. But ultimately, you will, or you'll just die young before you actually realize it. You know, but ultimately, as you get older, you start realizing some of the things you're doing is like, you know, the very definition of insanity. You're continuing to repeat the same fucking cycle over and over and over again, expecting something else to change. Some new epiphany is supposed to fucking hit you. How so?
I'm trying to learn. I want to actually learn how to speak Spanish and I think German. I want to do German. And I'm still
Well, I was going through my Spanish classes and everything, and then I met a girl. Ilocano, Tagalog, Visayan. There's like 200 different fucking languages of the Philippines.
Right.
I'm fucking done for. She speaks Ilocano, Tagalog, and English.
Okay.
And Visayan. She can speak at least 3 of those dialects automatically, and English. So while I'm learning, I'm trying to learn, and I'm talking to her. I use that language. I actually type it out, and I learn it, and I speak with her. I went on YouTube and started looking at how to speak Tagalog. Then I noticed there's another language, and then I said, "What dialect do you speak?" She said, "Ilocano." I said, "What is that?" She goes, "That's another dialect." Like, fuck. The mountain people where she's from, the Indian people that she's from, they speak Ilocano.
Okay, I've never heard of it.
And then there's another language, it's Visayan, and then the main language is Tagalog and English. So it's like, man, I'm already preoccupied with knowing the differences between the 3.
But that's the great thing about the Philippines, it speaks English.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I can at least ease into it, but I'm still challenging myself. Like I told y'all before, I used to work for Frito-Lay throwing chips. And when you go into a Spanish market, I used to tell them, do not let me check in without speaking 100% Spanish when it comes to counting. So I've learned how to count through hundreds in Spanish, strictly because I would force myself to learn it. You know. But again, like I
That's
said,
really good to know.
that Puerto Rican, me being in Puerto Rico since I was a kid, you can speak Spanish to me and I catch on to the conversation easily.
Oh, you went to Puerto
I
Rico?
just am not fluent in any of it, but I can understand it. I just answer you in English.
What parts of Puerto Rico did you go to?
I mean, we were always in San Juan growing up. That was like a family vacation spot. I mean, anywhere on the East Coast, man, you can literally catch a flight for cheap. So usually during the summertime, or at least a couple times during the summertime, my mom would fly us down to, Puerto Rico, or we'd go to Bahamas or Jamaica and stuff like that. I mean, I didn't say I grew up in a bad childhood. I just grew up around the mob and other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My background is my mom worked for the mob in the Playboy Club, and my brother's dad was a collector for the mob on the pier on the docks in Baltimore. My personal dad, was an engineer. He did a lot of the bridges in Baltimore. So, I didn't grow up where we didn't have a lot. I just grew up in a rough town, and there was no division when it came to being in the black community, whether you had money or not. You still all lived in the same area. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
where is that at? You said in Boston. Wait, what part?
what, Baltimore?
Baltimore. Right.
Yeah.
I got a friend from Baltimore right now.
I mean, my first body I saw was about 4 or 5 years old, walking down the street from my grandma's house to the corner store.
Oh, so she might be crazy, so I need to pay attention to her.
He said she might be crazy. Hey, man, Baltimore women can be very fine. They're very sexy. There's a lot. They could be very aggressive. It just depends on which one you met.
Wow.
Well,
I don't do anything too crazy, so we're going to figure it out. It's no
yeah,
problem.
just take your time. You know what I'm saying?
But I was trying to think about like other places to go besides just Africa, because that's going to take a couple of flights. Like that's why he was saying like Germany and South America, because you can get a straight flight to those places and come back home.
I mean, even if you go the way of Europe, I mean, you've already been to Brazil, and you kind of liked it in Brazil. You ever think about going to Portugal or even Spain? I mean, you're already learning Portuguese from being in Brazil. You might as well go to the place where it started.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? And Portugal's got really nice beaches and a lot of nice things there too. So if you're going to go to Europe, instead of going somewhere kind of strange and not necessarily something you're knowing, Portugal would be kind of like a warmer to exposing yourself to Europe, because you're kind of used to the language at least. And you get what I'm saying?
I'm not really used to the language. Like I'm telling you, Portuguese is not that simple.
Oh, I understand. I'm not even going to attempt to understand, that language right now. It's just like my mind is a whole nother place.
It sounded like they were singing to each other almost. It was beautiful. Right. It was very it gave me a French feel, but.
And yeah, I started learning French too, right before I started learning. So I was all twisted up in languages. I would take a little time on French, I'd take a little time on Spanish, and go back and forth, because those languages are closely related. Some of the words are similar. You just say them a different way. So I started learning French and Spanish, and then when I started dating this chick, then I looked at Tagalog and all these other things. I was like, man, I gotta pick a language. I'm getting too old to multitask like that. You get what I mean?
Yeah. I think to me, it seems a little easier doing all of them at the same time, though. For real, like
you can do a lot of comparisons of what words mean what.
Right. Like I could
like even
3 different languages.
Even
right?
Some of the language or words in the Philippines are closely related to Spanish words, like guapo. They use guapo.
Yeah, Spanish and Tagalog. Yeah, my friend.
Yeah, my friend. Because of the Spanish influence of them being in that island. So some of the words are similar. So I'm starting to look at some of the words like, yo, this is a Spanish word, but they kind of flipped it on its ear a little bit, but they're still using it.
Oh shit.
You
Some
know,
your show bit dog.
huh?
Your show about to come on in a second.
No, yeah, it's going to come on in an hour. It's 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. So
Oh, it's
it's
10.
8 o'clock here right now. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little break before the next episode, the humdinger. Take a little nap, get my hydration up because I'm about to flip from drinking water to drinking something,
What you
some
drinking
Crown
tonight?
Royal.
What
Huh?
we got? Crown Royal?
I'm gonna do the Crown Royal tonight. I did the white Hennessy the other night, so I'm gonna do some Crown Royal.
You got the right.
Tonight with some with a Arnold Palmer chaser. So it'll be a
So,
sweet lemon tea with a Crown Royal mix on ice.
okay, getting country on them.
Yep.
We drinking Casamigos again, fellas.
Oh.
And
Yeah, man,
Coronas.
come in the room, get up on a panel and tip a glass and join in on the festivities. It should get lively.
I definitely
There's
be
going to be
watching.
quite a few haters up in that room too, because we invited the haters to come in too.
Oh,
So.
there should be some trolls and
Oh, yeah, there's going to be some trolls, some professional trolls that actually do evaluations on hating of black people traveling. Those type of trolls
okay. Well,
are aware of this. This
okay. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only
So
one.
they'll be up in the room too. So it should get lively a little bit into it once they realize we're live, and they're going to come in anyway. Like even the live that Andrew did, it was 8 hours, and the hater that came in the room on his live has already gone back in and did a reaction to him being on the panel on the Andrew show.
He did a reaction
With another chick that hates herself. Her name is Blue Banana Princess. She's Guyanese and doesn't acknowledge that she's black, but she hates on black men. How does that happen?
Controversial.
That's what I'm saying. You hating for no reason. Basically, you hating yourself.
I think a lot of those people, like I said earlier, are in it for the clicks and the likes.
Yeah.
They just want.
Some of these guys make a career out of it. Like this whole guy that we're talking about here is, I think he's like 10, 15 years into this shit, man. He's been doing this shit so long. It's wasn't really YouTube vlogging back then. It was just people getting online just hating on you for no reason.
But it does make sense though. When they so the person that that's tonight, they gonna be on there. Mm-hmm. Okay,
we're gonna see if they show up. We already told them it's coming up.
That was a good topic that Andre and Andrea had last night on his show. He was talking about the worship of the Caucasian male or something, and it was a really good show though. He had a lot of,
and that's very true too. Yeah, a lot of the cultures, blonde hair, blue eye is king.
Right.
We're secondary to that as black men. We're the second most sought after men worldwide, but that blonde hair, blue eye is really hard to break.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody got to play their part. So
yeah,
I thought that he had a lot of good points. A lot of things I didn't realize and think about, just as far as like, African American or black women in America and how they feel. And I was like, wow, he had a lot of good points. And I was like, that's crazy because that's the first person to shame you if you get a Caucasian female. So that's the sad part. I digress. Man, thank you for coming on. I'm going to get out there live now.
Yeah, I already know Razor Ray went live about 2 minutes ago, man.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
I'm checking it out now. You got some girl on here twerking. Look like Jay Rillo.
Yeah, that's his topic. Is Jay Rillo getting his ass whooped and Sasua by chicks chasing him down, and he was on a motorbike and a couple guys on the street was trying to jump him on his motorbike because he was doing something wrong then, and they kind of rushed up on him. So yeah, he's kind of breaking that down on his channel right now.
Yeah, he crazy. He look like he going crazy on now. I'm definitely gonna check that up into the other shows.
Yeah, I got to check out to make sure I set this live up right because I set up the notification, but it's not like it asked me to punch in the YouTube or the StreamYard link into the YouTube announcement. So I don't know if I got to do another one when I go live
You
from
saying
the one that I set up as the notification for the delay kind of thing. I don't know how to do that. So
I messed that up like 4 times already, I think.
is there something I got to do in order to not have somebody?
You gotta go back into that one that you set up and then open it, I think.
With the StreamYard link on it?
I don't know. I haven't done it right yet, so
He said, I ain't done it right yet. He goes, that's why I just go live. I don't even make a thumbnail anymore. I just go live.
we gonna make it happen.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah.
Right. All right, bro. I'm gonna take a little siesta here for a second, 30-minute power nap.
Right. Hasta mañana.
All right, man. I'll see you in a few if you come on.
See.
Peace.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that came through on the show. It was a good show. Great panel. Everybody was on topic. Okay, so shout out to the people in the chat though. I'm geeked up. I gotta get something to eat. I'm so hungry. My stomach touched my back. Shout out to JJ's chicken and fish. Because they got some good food on Old National. If you're on the south side, please check them out. All right. And I got an interview coming up, like I said, with my boy from Tanzania. It's going to be a great interview. He's going to talk to us about health and just how he was able to become a African passport, bro, to come over here. He also just actually suffered from a stroke, so I wanted to get some information to you guys about that. So please stay tuned. Maybe that'll be Monday or tomorrow.